Hello, my loves. I'm still slightly not in tune with everything that's going on YouTube, but I am here to tell you what I've been wearing. In the UK, mixture of weather, but we have had a little bit of nice sunshine, even though I've kind of been locked away working for a lot of it without getting to see most of the sunshine. But it's kind of pushed me into wanting to go a little bit more spring floral. So I've got quite a few things actually, a couple of the slightly thicker ones, a couple of the ones that I can wear in kind of spring summer. But let's start with one I haven't worn for a little while. So let's take this. Such a beautiful bottle. I really like the lovely bottles, but the lovely summer bottles are so beautiful because of these bright colours. I mean, my favourite still is probably Born Lovely because I just love that baby pink font on the delicious grey glass. Like, I just love grey glass. But a lovely summer sunburst. I mean, come on. I mean, it really is a sunburst, isn't it? It's so beautiful. So, a lovely summer sunburst is a kind of sweet, citrusy, orange blossomy perfume. I definitely think it smells quite similar to a perfume that I still have the little one actually. I gave away the bigger bottle, but I have an Marks and Spencer's perfume that's called like Amongst the Orange Groves or something like that, or I can't even remember what it's called. But I still have the little pen spray of that. Very similar, if you can imagine. I think it's Byredo Sundazed, or like if you imagine a very sheer take on something like Love Don't Be Shy, because this still has that kind of slightly sweet, sugary quality in it. But yeah, it's very neroli orange blossomy, so it's got a little bit of that green bitterness as well. I haven't worn it for a while because I really have to be in a specific mood for neroli and orange blossom perfumes. But this one I think is beautiful. I love the bottle. I really enjoyed wearing this. I wore it all day. I took a little decant of this to take with me to work so that I could re-up on it, and I did. It's not like the strongest perfume, and I don't think it's supposed to be, but it did last quite well. I just like to top things like this up, especially with citruses, to bring that citrus back into the top. So the notes for Lovely Summer Sunburst are top notes of mandarin, orange, and neroli. Middle notes of iris, jasmine, and lily of the valley. Base notes amber tonic, cedarwood, skin, and musk. I think it's a skin musk, and it's very similar to the musk that you get very strongly in the original Lovely Summer, which is much more of an Egyptian musky kind of smell than it is the white musky smell that you get in the original Lovely. It's a kind of warmer, more skin-like, more sultry thing. And in this one, to be honest, I could really notice it this time. I was wearing it in mild weather rather than summer, and I really got that musk in the base. I could really smell it. I really enjoyed wearing it. My husband smelt this on me and just was like, "Oh, you smell citrusy," because it is very citrusy. And of course, neroli and orange blossom retains an element of something citrusy, but this is like it doesn't mention anything that should be this kind of sugary sweetness in there, but there's definitely a little bit of that sugary sweetness, and the more it dries down, the more you get this lovely sweetness. It's a really pretty perfume. If you can get hold of it, I think in the UK you probably can still get hold of this quite easily. But if you can get hold of it, I think it's such a lovely one. A lovely, lovely. Right, what's next? I'm going for the taller ones. All right, we're going to go for one I wore because I went out with some work friends for a drink. My husband came and I haven't opened it. That's why. I was wondering why I didn't have enough tabs open. So I wanted to wear something floral, but I wanted to wear something that was kind of event appropriate. And sorry, I'm just trying to get this up, and I really don't want to have to. Why is this being so difficult? Why won't it give me what I want? Ugh. Let me get it up here while I'm getting the notes up. So, I mean, to be honest, the notes on Fragrantica I don't think really do justice or really explain what this smells like. Classique from Jean Paul Gaultier. This is the I love such a good bottle again. This is the Eau de Parfum, the most recent formulation of the Eau de Parfum, which they have discontinued. I hope they bring it back. Maybe they're just going to change the bottle again. I don't know, but it's so ladylike and sensual and beautiful, and it's just absolutely lovely. So I've got one of the classiques up now. I just have to scroll through to find the other one. It's weird. Sometimes when I search on Fragrantica, I searched for something like really obvious and it just doesn't find it for so long. It makes me like look through all these weird little limited editions. Okay, so this version of the Eau de Parfum, it says top notes of rum, rose, Sicilian mandarin, middle notes orchid and narcissus, base notes vanilla, amber, tonka bean and sandalwood. Now, this definitely still smells like the original Classique. It's just warmer, it's sweeter, it's kind of, it's almost like a different type of powdery. It's more like a kind of liquid powdery. I don't really know if that makes any sense. Like kind of icing sugar mixed with water kind of powdery rather than the really soapy powdery like baby powder that I get with the original. This one is, it's kind of, again, sugary. It's a bit richer and it's not quite as bitter with the kind of neroli orange blossom thing that's in the original. I think the original is very beautiful. I just personally find it really difficult to wear because it does get, like, there's quite a lot of vanilla in the base of that perfume, but there's also a very heavy soapiness. And I don't really like very soapy vanillas. Like, they tend to freak me out. And it's so bitter on me at the beginning because of that neroli. But I really like it on other people. This is my wearable version of Classique. And I have the old formulation of this as well, which isn't quite as sweet, but it's still very similar. And it's like, if you imagine original Classique with a kind of really syrupy rum note and a maybe a little bit more of that narcissus, it's gorgeous. So I always feel very sexy in this perfume. I think it's grown up. It's definitely got a little bit of a maturity that you don't necessarily get in well, no, I mean the original is really got a bit of a mature feel, but I don't know how to describe this as to say it's like grown woman sexy. It's like you wouldn't necessarily expect to smell like an 18-year-old wearing this. Not that you couldn't, but it's just probably not what you would expect. You'd normally expect like, I don't know, cloud or something, right? Or smelling like a cupcake, which seems to be what is the general theme nowadays, or smelling like caramel, or smelling like, you know, just pure vanilla or marshmallows or whatever. This is not that. This is a perfumey perfume, and it smells sophisticated but kind of sexy, slightly filthy in a way that I really enjoy. So yes, very lovely. I really enjoyed wearing it. I wore it all day to work, kind of lightly, and then I went a bit more heavy in the evening, and it's totally lush. So, and then I'm bringing out my little bottle just because I've got a couple of big bottles to put up here, so I needed space. But this, my favourite vanilla in the world. I don't think anything will ever beat this as my favourite vanilla. Oh my god, so lush. So this is my small bottle. This is my 50ml. I've also got a 100ml. They're both partial bottles though, because I bought both of them second hand. But honestly, when I need to re-up on this, I will happily wait till there's a good deal on Diptyque, like if I get a good freebie or something, and I will buy a fresh one. Because I love how this smells now, because when I first got this, it was way paler, and this is now getting a bit more of a brown tone, the way that vanillas normally do. The bigger bottle I have is very dark now. It's like really dark vanilla colour. But I really love how it smells now it's older, but I equally enjoy the freshness of the vanilla before it's deepened when you first get it. So I don't think I want to get a second-hand one again that's kind of already started to mature. I want a fresh one so I can go through that process, because I just love it in all its forms. This is a aromatic green vanilla, and it's got, I think, quite a decent amount of black tea in it, and a beautiful ambergris, which gives it a slight saltiness, which I'm quite sure is why I'm so obsessed with this. So the notes are bourbon vanilla, LME resin, juniper, cardamom, pink pepper, olibanum, black tea, bergamot, ambergris, musk and saffron. It's one of my more expensive perfumes. I absolutely love it. I never intend to be without it. It's totally brilliant. I don't really know what else to say about this. Like, if you like things like Baby Cat because of the vanilla you like in there, then you'd probably enjoy this as well, because I think they have the same feeling vanilla. And it's not too sickly, not too rich. This one is not as sweet as Baby Cat. It's not as rich. It's really kind of broken through with that black tea. But my God, I love this. I do have, this is an eau de toilette. I do have the eau de parfum. It's probably one that I will sell because I also have Baby Cat. And I think if I want to go smoky, I might as well go hardcore smoky with Baby Cat. And if I want the eau de Oeil general smell, then I think I would rather wear this one more, but I don't know. It's in a box at the moment, being kept safe, but I haven't decided whether I'm keeping the EDP or not. I'm probably not. It's really good. It's just I think it's slightly less sweet in a weird way, and also ever so slightly less green, ever so slightly more smoky, but very, very similar. There's not so much of a difference between them that I feel like I need both, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So good though. Eau de Oil is one of my absolute favourites. One of my all-time favourites. Let's see. What else have we got here? I'm just looking at the size of things. So let's look at... let's do this one, because when I first got this perfume, I had some samples of this and I got so obsessed. I loved the samples. I wore them. I think I had like 5 or something, and I've got a couple left. So I really loved it. I managed to get a bottle, and it had been discontinued, I think, already. So as soon as I saw one for a good price, I snapped it up. And then I carried on being obsessed with it. I'm trying to see if I've got a dent in this. It's going to be interesting. White tea, but this is white tea vanilla orchid from Elizabeth Arden. I'm just going to get I want to see for my own interest, like if I've got any kind of a dent. A little dent. I don't know if you can even see that. It's probably too bright, isn't it? But it's about up to, it's just above the Elizabeth Arden line here. And this is a 100ml bottle. So I loved this. I loved it. And you may hear I'm saying loved. Because I don't love this anymore. And I really don't know why. I have this thing with the white teas that I've had quite a few of them, and I've really liked them when I first got them. And then for some reason, I don't know if it's the way they age or something. It doesn't smell like it's off or anything. I just, for some reason, just don't love this anymore. I still really like it. But I didn't dislike wearing it, but I didn't want to kind of carry on wearing it all day, as in like I wasn't getting the urge to respray it once it wore off. And because this is a white tea, it doesn't last for a huge amount of time, like maybe 4 hours or something. And so last week when I was making my video, I just realised that I couldn't really smell this anymore, and that's when I put Guess Seductive Red back on, which I didn't bring over for this because I talked about it last week. But I did go over the top, and that's what I could smell for the rest of the day, with just a hint of the kind of creamy sandalwoody feel that you get from this. I think there is something to be said about the correlation between indie and this perfume, not just because they have similar shaped bottles, but because this has that kind of musky, sandalwoody sweetness that indie does. But this then also has a vanilla orchid and tea and some of the old elements of the original white tea. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not loving it. It's not one I'm going to get rid of because, like I said, if I change my mind, I'll never get this back because you can't get it anymore. But I'm keeping hold of it. I will try it again in warmer weather. It probably wasn't great at this time of year. It wasn't the warmest day that I wore it. So I'm going to try it again in warmer weather because this definitely ended up being my favourite white tea. I do have the ginger lily one and I really like that one too. I think did I keep hold of that? I think I've still got that. I can't even remember, to be honest. But yeah, I've pretty much decluttered all of the white teas. I don't know why. They don't work for me as well. They smell a little bit more chemically. I don't really get chemicals from this, but I don't know, I just didn't love it. And I didn't wear it at all last year. So every time I smelt it, I was like, not really in the mood for that. And then this year, I sort of went, it smells nice, I'm going to wear it. And then I just don't love it. I don't know. I've also compared this, and I do think there are some crossovers. If you imagine a very sheer, summery, like more adult version of something like Prerogative from Britney Spears. I don't know how it has a link, but it kind of reminds me of that a little bit. It's almost like there's goji berry or something in this. There's a kind of, I don't know how to describe it. So this one, top notes of quince, bergamot, elemi, lemon in the top, vanilla orchid, white tea, gardenia, jasmine in the mid, base notes, vanilla, musk, orris, amberwood and ambrette. It's crazy to me that this doesn't have sandalwood in it because I think it smells like sandalwood, but it isn't an amberwood that bothers me. So I'm just going to see what this has been compared to. Cinema. Nah, I mean, maybe very tangentially I can see why people might think of cinema, but not entirely. But I also have cinema, so maybe I'm persuading myself that I really don't need this one. People have said it smells like white tea. There's a crossover, but I think this is one of the least like the original from this range. I think there's the rose one, the wild rose or something, that's very sweet and like fruity, that I don't think smells much like the original. But this doesn't smell as much like the original as any of the others that I've smelt from the range. Um, yeah, so some people have said prerogative ego. Yes, it does smell a little bit like the thing I'm wearing today, actually, which is Aqua Colonia, Goji Berry and Cactus. So yeah, maybe I've just got other things that smell similar that I prefer. I don't know. Anyway, so this one is possibly on the chopping block, but it's still beautiful. It's just whether I think it's worth having when I have like 300 perfumes, you know? So then we have, oh, I just had to wear this. I was thinking about it. Grape Soda from Lush. Absolutely scrumdiddlyumptious. I love it. Actually, while I'm here, I'm going to hop up and try not to knock things over so I can show you the colour of this juice. That is what the actual thing looks like. This is the little bottle I take with me to work, so obviously I'm not going to take that massive thing. But isn't it fabulous? You have to be careful where you spray it, but my God, the smell of this. It literally smells like grape soda. It's one of the best body sprays that Lush has ever done, and it very much irritates me that it's not a kind of full-time proposition, if you see what I mean. I hope they bring it back. I think it's really good. They had another berry one that came out a while back that I think smelt really similar. It wasn't as grapey, and therefore I didn't think it was as good, and I didn't buy it. But it still was very similar, so it was really good. It just smelled like a berry one instead of specifically grape. This says grape, juniper berry and orange oil. Apparently, that's it. It's just Lush. I don't know what else to say. Sadly, like I said, you can't really get it. You might be able to get it on eBay. So then, okay, a couple more of the spring-like things. I tend to wear this once a year, like, and I am so... This is another one that I keep saying every time. I probably need to get rid of this because I do only wear it once a year, and I feel like I could take a decant because this has also been discontinued, but it's very good quality. This is Something Blue from, what's it called? Oh, yeah, Oscar de la Renta. It's a fabulous perfume, don't get me wrong, it really is. But I really do only wear it once a year, and I have the same experience every time. I spray it on, and I'm like, oh, I forgot that was so green. That is such a green kind of bitter leaf smell in the top, but it's amazing. And then it'll dry down a bit, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. It'll dry down more, I'll get more vanilla, and I'm like, this is a really interesting perfume. And then after about 4 hours, I'm kind of bored of wearing it. And again, I think this is something to do with the vanilla and the flowers together, which I don't necessarily always cope that well with. But I also really like it. So every time I wear it, I'm like, well, I don't want to get rid of it because I do want to wear it. But then I'm like, but do I need a 100ml bottle of this? Because you can see I've got a decent dent in this, but that's also because I've given out some samples of it. Some decants, you know. So I don't know. I mean, I kind of love this one, but at the same time, no, I don't. That's not true. I don't love it. I really like this one. I think it's an amazing perfume. But I don't know that I like it more than half of the other floral things that I have that I might reach for. But it is also quite special. So I'm really, again, I'm so torn up about what I would do about it. But because it's not in production anymore, maybe hanging on to it is, if I'm not really going to wear it, it doesn't make any sense because there might be someone else who really wants it. But although I've got a dent in it, so I don't know if I'll even be able to sell it. So it might just stay with me just because you can't really sell things in the UK anymore, perfumes, if they're noticeably used. But anyway, let me just give you the notes. So Something Blue is linden blossom, so that's lime blossom, neroli, bergamot, mandarin orange in the top. That's why it's so green and quite bitter in the top. Middle notes of lily of the valley, stephanotis, narcissus and lychee. I can't smell any lychee in this personally. I do get narcissus though. Base notes, white musk, ambrette, ambergris, cashmere wood and bourbon vanilla. And the bourbon vanilla is surprisingly strong in this. It's what I noticed when I first got it, that actually, even though when I look at the votes, it's low down. If you are not someone who constantly wears vanilla perfumes, this has got a very noticeable vanilla in it. I promise you. It's linden blossom, a lot of it, and I have a couple of other perfumes that have linden blossom, and I recognise it. But I get linden blossom, I get neroli, I get narcissus, I get maybe a bit of that ambergris, which is a good mixture for the vanilla. It's almost like, Am I thinking Splendor? It's almost like Splendor, but with a splash of vanilla or something. It's got that classic white floral scent to it. But it's, I don't know, it's a bit more special. And this is obviously a wedding perfume. It's called Something Blue. This is like a wedding ring round the top, or a ring that says Oscar de la Renta, like a wedding band. Um, Something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. So it's perfect for that. And it's another one that maybe I keep hold of just because perfect for going to a wedding. Like if I know anyone who's going to get married, then this would be a perfect thing to wear to someone's wedding. It would be perfect for a bride as well. It's just whether I'm always just thinking about what I keep in terms of what I'm going to use, because I don't want to keep loads of perfumes I don't wear very often just because I don't want them to go off. You know what I mean? If I'm not going to wear them, especially if they're rare. But it's also kind of special. So Jo Malone French Lime Blossom is the top comparison here. Alfred Sung Forever. I didn't really get that from. I can kind of maybe see. I feel like Forever, if I remember correctly, reminded me a bit more of True Love from Elizabeth Arden. Or am I making that up? It reminded me of something I already had, basically. And let's see, what else? Florist from Ellis Brooklyn. I smelt that this week. And it smelt beautiful when I first sprayed it. And then it just turned into soap. So, yeah. White tea mandarin. No, I don't think so. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to click. Just for my own sanity, I want to click on Forever by Alfred Sung to see. I just want to see what else it's compared to, because I feel like that's a bit more of a rose forward perfume. And I think it reminded me of True Love. Splendor. Oh, maybe I'm going mad and it was something else and it reminded me of something else. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This is a beautiful perfume if you can get hold of it and you like florals and you like greenness. Then in your perfumes, I think you might really enjoy it. I think it's lovely. Okay. This baby. Oh, I'm always excited when I get to wear this. When spring starts springing. This is so gorgeous. It's just so pretty. Like, this was briefly a signature scent of mine until I realised I couldn't really afford for it to be a signature scent. I've had that with a few perfumes, like back in the day, where I found something I actually liked, which was rare, and then wore it for a bit before realising I had to find something more affordable if I was going to like wear it every day and top up, you know, and have multiple bottles of it, which I always do. When I had a signature scent, I always had a bottle of it at work, a bottle at home, and a backup, and then a bottle at my mum and dad's, so that I didn't have to take it with me. Obviously, that's all changed now. But this Phlur de Ombre Rose from Jean-Charles Brousseau, I say it every time. Do not mix it up with Ombre Rose from Jean-Charles Brousseau, the original, which has more of a dusty nude pink colour to the liquid. That is much more of a classic rose. This is a very modern fruity rose, and it's kind of sheer and it's kind of sweet and it's fun and it smells very pink. This is the perfect colour for it. Love it. So notes, there's a lot of them. Top notes: rhubarb, tangerine, blackcurrant, apple, orange, melon, grapefruit and bergamot. Middle notes: rose, peach, freesia, mango and jasmine. That's right, there's a mango. Base notes: orris root, musk, sandalwood, vetiver and amber. And I think the reason I thought of wearing this one actually is because I had just had a shower with the Lush shower gel called Mango Lassie that they had out a while back. I just got myself a little bottle of that, which smells absolutely lush. Again, if they make a body spray of Mango Lassie, I would get that, because it is a very sweet, creamy, it is what it says on the tin. Beautiful mango. This, I've said it loads. I think I reviewed it years ago on Fragrantica when I said it as well. I think this smells like pink rose water and pink jelly babies, which are kind of these little sweets. If you're out of the UK, you might not know what jelly babies are, but specifically the pink ones that have this kind of slightly, I'd say almost like berry flavour to them. Weirdly, like the peach is voted up the top here, but I think there's something about the rhubarb in this mixed with the mango and the peach, and then that blackcurrant that just gives it almost like a kind of raspberry scent to it, or like a sweetie version of a raspberry. But it's definitely a rose perfume, and it's probably my favourite rose perfume. This and Tocard. So this in warm weather, probably my favourite rose, and in cold weather, Tocard is my favourite rose. It's just beautiful. I think it's quite youthful smelling in a way for a rose perfume because of all those fruits. And I think it's easy to wear. It's quite sheer. I often used to wear it to bed when I first got it, when I still had it was when I was trying to transition out of wearing my Label Ricci because I only had one bottle left and I couldn't find any more. And I wanted to be able to keep a little bit of that just forever so I remember what I smelt like for like 16 years. Oh, God, I wish they'd bring it back. Bloody Nina Ricci. God damn it. They haven't made a single perfume I've liked since then. It's very sad. But yeah, I bought this in Selfridges when they used to sell John Charles Brousseau in the perfume hall, and I started just wearing it in the evening, like when I had my partner over, and like I'd be like, okay, I'll just wear this for my like evening perfume and to bed, and like if we'd showered and stuff. So it just kind of became like quite a comforting perfume for me, and then it helped me transition into wearing it to work. But then again, like I said, like it was quite expensive. The Nina Ricci one I'd had was nowhere near expensive as this. I think this, I mean, you can probably get this for a decent price now. I think I got this for a really good price. But I think at the time it was like £115, which for me back then was not something I could afford to wear every day. So it tided me over for a little while. And then I think that's when I moved into the YSL in Love Again. But again, that was like at least £75 when I was buying that at the time, probably more. So then I just moved to that Brocard perfume, and then changed and started wearing loads of things. So anyway, Phlur's de Ombre Rose by Jean Charles Brousseau is beautiful. I love it. It's great. And then I'm going to mention this quickly because I've been wearing this loads again. This hasn't really gone down much because I have it like part of this bottle in a rollerball next to my bed. But I have been fully re-obsessed with wearing Skin Musk from Parfum Decor. It's my favourite. I love it. I've been wearing it to bed all the time, and I've been putting it on again in the morning. The thing is, I've been wearing like a really kind of comfy, what are they called? Like a sweatshirt style jumper, like a sweater jumper kind of thing. I don't know how to describe it. Because I've been reading a lot, so I've been getting a bit chilly in bed, so I just put that on. And because the first time I put it on, I had Skin Musk on at the time, it just smells like Skin Musk, and every time I sniff it, and the same, I'd be like, say to my husband, I'd be like, oh, smell it, it smells so good. And then I just want to wear it again, so I've worn it a lot of evenings recently. I just am obsessed and I love it. It's like clean but sexy, golden, warm musk. Musk, sandalwood, floral notes. I think there's probably ylang ylang, there's probably jasmine, there's probably rose in this. There's definitely vanilla. It's quite sweet. It's just perfect. It's how I would like my skin to smell. And I very nearly wore it out to work. The only reason I didn't is because I was in that kind of wanting to wear spring floral mood in terms of when I'm out of the house. But I also kind of wanted to have a day where I just smell like Skin Musk, so I might do that in the coming weeks. Also, just because I've got some holiday coming up and we've got the bank holidays over Easter and stuff, so maybe I'll just wear it for the full day and just wander around smelling like delicious Skin Musk. If I ever smell anyone who smells anything like this kind of musk, I cannot get enough of it. I love it. I'm always like just sniffing them and being like, you smell so good. Right. So I also went out sniffing, as I said. I smelt quite a few Ellis Brooklyn things, but nothing that I sprayed out and brought home with me, because the one I was the most... Actually, did I smell... Is it called Dear Sky? Is that Ellis Brooklyn? Dear Sky, I really liked, and I would like to try that one out. I kind of just want to try some of them out. I've not really smelt many of the Ellis Brooklyn ones that I think smell like poison, but at the same time, they don't all necessarily smell particularly interesting to me, but I kind of want to do some investigation. I really like those bottles. They kind of look a bit like the Kayali ones, but I like them. I kind of sniffed the Kayali little ones, like a matcha musk or something like that. The ones that are in the brown nudie. I think they only have them in miniatures. The matcha one was the strongest one from the nozzle, and it smelled kind of dirty to me. Matcha often can smell either dirty or fishy, and I didn't like it. Kind of biscuity, that one. I wasn't keen on it. And the other two I could barely smell, so I kind of didn't pay any attention to them. But the Ellis Brooklyn Florist, I really thought that was so beautiful when I first sprayed it, and I sprayed it onto a bit of paper that I then lost. But that one, it just did really turn into soap on the paper, so I was kind of like, I didn't know if... Maybe I'll try it another time. But I went to smell some of the Phlur perfumes, so They've got one called Honey, I think, something Honey, which I want to try on my skin because I sniffed it and I was like, I'm not sure it's particularly special, but honey can sometimes go really nicely on my skin. So I'm going to try and go back. It was Space NK I was in because I went down to Lush, which you'll see in a minute. I went down to Lush to test something out while I was buying some hair conditioner. So NK is like such a good place for a lot of the perfumes that all the influencers talk about. So I get to just go and sniff them without spending any money, which is my favourite way of doing it. But anyway, the one that I decided to try, randomly I put this on my skin. I'm not really sure what possessed me. There's something in this perfume that I like. So Golden Rule, it's called, from Phlur. There was something I liked about this, but then once it was on my skin, I was like, oh, it smells like something else. And all I could think about was Libre. So I was like, I think it smells like Libre. The notes are pear, mandarin and pink pepper. Middle notes of orange, flower water, jasmine and coconut milk. Base notes vanilla, sandalwood and benzoin. And yeah, I was just like, I mean, I feel like this smells like it doesn't say musk, but there's something about it that made me feel slightly like there was a warm musk in it. But it's vanilla, orange flower. I don't know what it was that was bothering me though. Once this dried down, I found it a little bit sickening. But having looked down at the comparisons now, the top comparison is Prada Paradox. And Prada Paradox makes me feel a bit sick. It has got that Libre feel, and Libre is up here as being one of the comparisons. Libre Intense specifically, Olympia Solar. So there's Valentino Donna Born in Roma, although there's no patchouli kind of vibe in Golden Rule. Volce Vita. Oh no, Volce Viva Intensa from Valentino. So there's a lot of perfumes here that's been compared to. Excuse me, that's my phone. Just ignore it. There's a lot of perfumes here that are just things I don't really like. So, or at least, even if I can appreciate that other people would like them, they're not things I can wear, I think is more specifically. Because Libre, there's things about it I understand, but I can't wear it. I'm so sorry. Hang on, I'm just going to have to mute whatever's going on here. Mute. So, yeah, I mean, I thought it was nice at first and then it started getting on my nerves, which is pretty much what happens with Libre as well. But yeah, Golden Rule by Phlur. The thing with Phlur is I often smell things and I think, it just kind of smells like something else. I don't know that I've really smelt much of theirs and not been able to instantly recognise another perfume. But anyway, the honey one I want to try, so maybe I'll try and get a sample of that one. Now then. So Lush. I went to Lush to buy their banana hair conditioner and a jumping juniper shampoo bar, which I don't actually use for shampoo because I use co-wash now, but I use that to wash my armpits because it's just really good. If you use natural deodorant, especially anything that's like cream based, it's harder to get that off of your armpits. I don't want to scrub them too hard because obviously it's a sensitive area. So I just like to use the Lush shower gels, and Jumping Juniper is my favourite for it because it's got like antibacterial qualities in it. So I just use that. Yeah, that's what I use. I use it like a soap basically, and it's amazing. But I wanted to try out their banana conditioner because I've just finished my Garnier banana hair mask, and I love smelling my hair like a little bit banana-y. But I don't necessarily love the Garnier one in terms of what it makes my hair feel like. It's okay, but it's not great. Their watermelon one is better for me. So, God, I'm really chatty this video, aren't I? I've got a lot of things I'm talking about, a lot of things to say. But anyway, so, yeah, so I went in for that, but I thought this means I can go and smell the Mario body sprays because they have two. They've got a peach one, which is apparently not the same as their Princess Peach, which I still have a decant of. Which I always think smells a bit like, oh God, it's a sweet that I can't remember the name of. Not a blackjack, the one, a fruit salad sweet. Fruit salad chewy sweets, which I think is pineapple and raspberry, or peach and raspberry maybe. It's pineapple anyway. But I also get a bit of a watermelon smell from that for some reason. I don't know why. But apparently that one's different, but I couldn't smell it. They didn't have it. I feel like maybe they've sold out of it. I don't know, but I couldn't find it. So I was like, okay. But they also have one called Princess Rosalina, which is here. I really loved the Mario movie, so I'm really looking forward to watching this new one. Hopefully we'll be able to watch it with my stepson at some point because he liked the first one as well. So Princess Rosalina, It says, let's see, rose oil, chamomile, oh, chamomile blue, Divana, tagettes, which I think is like marigold or something, isn't it? And I love marigold. Juicy berry aromas, rose oil, and rosalina oil, which is subtle woody aroma, almost translucent quality. This just smells like Lush to me. Like, again, people have been saying online, and why I was so excited to smell this one, they've been saying it smelled like blueberry. I do not and did not get blueberry from this. I got berries for sure. Like, when I first sprayed this, it smelled like super berryish, but not specifically blueberries. If this smelled like blueberries, I would have bought it because I am always wanting good blueberry perfumes. But now it just kind of smells like a bath bomb. It's got that scratchy thing in it that I don't like, that some of the perfumes and body sprays from Lush have, that smell like literal bath bombs, that have almost the texture of a bath bomb. And this has that, and I don't like it. So, I mean, it's not like a bad perfume. It's just one of the Lush perfumes that is very much not for me. You know, it's just not designed for what I like. But yeah, I was really sad I didn't get blueberry from it, but I didn't get blueberry. So no to that one. And then the other two that I sprayed out, we have, okay, YSL. Can't really smell it very much, which is surprising, which means this is not as strong, because this was yesterday I tested this, I think. Yeah, was it yesterday? Day before, actually. But normally this is the thing I can smell all over my room. It's so strong. So YSL Libre Berry Crush I went to smell. So I think it's possible that, with the exception of, is it Platine, the one in the silver bottle, which I think ends up smelling kind of similar to Burberry Brit Rhythm, their lavender kind of creamy body lotiony smell. But I think Berry Crush might be my favourite Libre, or at least the one that feels like it would be the most wearable for me, because it isn't as strong. And I didn't think I would really enjoy the fruit in this. I thought maybe it wouldn't be for me. But I actually kind of like this one. I don't know if I could wear it. It might be one I try and get a sample of, just so I can see how it works on my skin. Because I've said a million times what I wouldn't give for one of these bottles. Because one of the things I love about collecting perfumes is I love glass, right? So I love the bottles. And the Libre bottle is one that I've always wanted in my collection, but I've never wanted to actually really wear any of the perfumes enough to invest. But like a tiny bottle of this one, which is, let's have a look. It's so pretty. I mean, it's beautiful. Look at that. It's gorgeous. So the notes, we've got raspberry and mandarin in the top. We've got middle notes of orange, blossom and lavender. We've got base notes, bourbon, vanilla, musk and coconut. Now, I'm not really sure I can smell the coconut, but I feel like there is a kind of creamy sweetness adding to the vanilla, which gives it a slightly different feel. The raspberry's nice, it's juicy. I didn't find the raspberry screechy, which is really good, because a lot of the time I do find modern raspberry perfumes quite screechy. It's still very orange blossomy. You can still smell it's Libre. It's definitely still Libre. But it's just not as in your face as a lot of the Libres. I find them quite aggressively strong, very potent perfumes that are a bit headache inducing. This one I didn't really feel like that so much about. So yeah, I might try and get a sample of this from somewhere if I can get it for a good price, and just see how it actually wears. Or of course I could just go back to Selfridges, which is where I tested this, and put it on my skin. That is probably what I'll actually do. It's just getting around to actually going there, you know. But yeah, I think Berry Crush is really nice. If I look at the votes, it says Orange Blossom is at the top, followed by Raspberry, then Lavender. So, I mean, I've never found Libre to have like an unbearably strong lavender, but sometimes their lavender does feel a bit screechy if I compare it to something like Montguerlain, but then Montguerlain is normally quite sweet. So, but I love lavender. So do you know what I mean? I think it's really nice. I really like it. If I look down, we've got, yeah, it's compared to the original Libre, which makes sense. Flowers and Flames. I mean, they all kind of smell a bit like Libre. Also compared to Prada Paradox, but I feel like, I don't know, there's something about Prada Paradox that just, I find it very sickly. Yeah, most of them are compared to Libre because it smells like a Libre, because it is a Libre. All right, how long have I been talking? All right, I need to speed up. Last one. Oof, not for me, this one. Orphéon from Diptyque. This is the new eau de toilette. So I wanted to go and smell it. I really like the original Orphéon. I am quite determined to get a pen spray of that one. I will buy one eventually. It's just I haven't really bought any perfumes in the last couple of months. So I just haven't got round to doing it because I will have to buy it on eBay. But Orphéon is warm and cozy, and it's kind of powdery, and there's something so enveloping and comforting about it. Orphéon EDT smells very, very masculine to me. Like the EDP smells really unisex. It doesn't really lean, I don't think, in either direction. There's a sweetness to it. It's really pretty. But this one smells a bit woody and bitter. It smells, the juniper's quite strong. It smells like a men's cologne to me. So it's got yuzu, green mandarin, juniper berry, pink pepper and ginger in the top. It's got magnolia and rose in the middle, and the base is cedar and musk. The cedar is really strong. The citrus is quite strong. The juniper is very strong. The florals are way back in the background, and it doesn't have that delicious warmth. Now let me click on the original, because is it benzoin in it? What is in the original that makes it so yummy and warm? Why is it not showing me the original? Just show me the original. Here we go. So it's got powdery notes as well, which this is not really very powdery, this new EDT. Oh, tonka. That's why it's got that lovely sweetness. So it's the original's juniper berry, jasmine, powdery note, cedar and tonka. This, I think, takes quite a step away. It still has the juniper. It still has the woodiness, the cedar. But it really, Orphéon EDT very much smells like something that a man would wear. And not in a unisex way, like actually smells like it's made for men to me. So I don't like this new version of Orphéon. It's not my kind of thing. I don't really like any perfumes that smell like they've been specifically made and marketed to men. Like even the stuff that my husband wears, it's normally unisex, because I much prefer something that's less obviously like woody. Do you know what I mean? Or less bitter. The classic like barbershoppy kind of smells that you get in a lot of the men's scents, that kind of punch you in the face. You smell like you work in Canary Wharf and you wear a suit all the time. You know, I like something with a bit more personality that isn't so obvious. So I tend to buy him unisex scents, and he smells so good in them. But yeah, I'm not keen on this new Orphéon. It's just not my vibe. I'm sure lots of people like it, but it's not for me. The original though, I think is beautiful, and I've wanted a bottle of it for ages, because it's one of the eau de parfums. It's expensive, and I don't believe I will wear it enough to warrant buying a full bottle. So I'm just going to try and get like a pen spray, like I have with like a lot of the Diptyque perfumes. So yeah, actually, it reminds me, I'll have to have a look on eBay and see if I can find a good one, because I think I can afford it this month. So that's good. And that is everything. I've been talking for ages. It's a long one today, guys. So I smelt so many things in Space NK, but I just can't. I can't kind of remember them, and I will have to go back. I will go back at some point. I nearly only go down that way if I'm going to Lush, but I will go and I will check it out at some point, and I will come back and talk to you about some other things. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think of this random selection of perfumes. If you've got any of these, let me know what you've been wearing. If you've been dipping into your more floral perfumes now that spring is starting to sprung. That's not right, is it? Now that spring is starting to spring doesn't really sound good though, does it? Now spring has sprung. I feel like I can't say that because I'm sitting here in cold grey weather. The UK has got cold again. So, meh. Thank you for watching. Thank you if you're subscribed. If you're not, please do consider subscribing. It really helps me. Sorry I just knocked this thing, but anyway. If I haven't got back to your comment yet, I'm really sorry. I am trying to go through them. I've got quite a backlog. I've just been, guys, honestly, I'm so busy at the moment. Like everything is just a lot. So not in a bad way. It's just work is so intense at the moment. It's like we're heading into the end of this financial year and everything is completely insane. So hopefully I'll be able to calm down in April. I'll have a bit more time. I'm going to have a little bit of time off, so I will be able to get my head back together and actually respond to my lovely subscribers. You're all wonderful. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again next week. I hope you enjoy whatever I've got lined up for Wednesday. All right. Bye, guys.